What's up, Delicate? We're live. What's going on? Angela, you're live.
You're live.
No? Well, yeah, I am. We're live. It's this crazy technology.
I feel like I have to sneeze.
We're all live. Suddenly. I told you, remember that we were watching that show that was, where was it? Where it was like that. What show was that?
Fear Factor.
No. That's funny. Ow. Damn it. New mic position. Didn't work. Not Fear Factor.
The Real World.
Oh, man. No, it was a good movie. It was like a movie.
Beyond Flux.
All right, I'm not playing this game.
What?
Timothy Busfield.
We were watching a show or a movie? What?
I think it was a movie, and they were like, it was like the first live broadcast. Was it like a?
That was Quiz Show, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Quiz Show. What? No.
Didn't they do like a whole this is the first when they went from black and white to color?
Delicate's here. So good to see you. Archival Raccoon.
Nice.
Has arrived.
I don't remember what show you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Do you know
move
who
on.
was in it?
It's time to move on.
Was it our favorite president show?
No, it was a movie about whatever, and then they went live, and when they went live, like there was gunfire, but they were going live for like the Olympics.
Oh, okay. We watched a show that was a dramatization of the Olympics terrorist hostage taking.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. You say, terrorist is how we heard the story.
Hey, listen, I'm not here to debate. I'm just telling you that I watched that movie, and then when that movie went down, they tried to they were broadcasting live. It was like for the first time in television history or something. They were actually doing a live broadcast, and here we are, in our fucking bedrooms with our fucking internet connections.
Reporting news that's not as important.
We talk to people in Brazil. We talk to people in New Zealand. We talk to people in the UK, in Canada, and right here in America too. Happy America.
Happy America.
Maybe not so much. All right, listen. Timothy Busfield, you know?
That is the guy you were talking about yesterday who had allegations of a very criminal sort.
Correct. Yeah, he is alleged to have SA'd a child of 7 years old.
In his workplace, right? That's how he has proximity to these kids?
Yes.
So he's an actor. He was on a show.
No, he was a director.
Okay.
He was
child actors. Is that what happened?
Correct. So they were doing a show. It's called The Housekeeper on Fox. Mm-hmm. And during that show, apparently, he was accused of touching one of these children on their genitals. And when I say one of them, there's a pair of brothers who are twins. Uh-huh. Very common in Hollywood to hire twins and kids so they can rotate them in, mm-hmm. And comply with,
2 actors, 1 role.
SAG rules.
That's a relatively recent show, right? How old are they now, the kids?
Yes, it was. This dates back 2 years ago, mm-hmm. 2023. The child said that it happened when he was 7, and then again when he was 8. The Daily Variety reported that, and this is the spin it seems coming from from Timothy's camp, is that the boy. Here's what's weird. Okay, so let me set this up.
Oh, so much is weird. Yeah.
Well, here's what's weird about it is because they're trying to spin that the mother of these 2 boys, these twins,
is conspiring.
Was angry because the boys didn't get picked up for the following season. They were written out. Timothy Busfield is not a showrunner. And for those who don't know, a showrunner is really the person who controls the show.
The person who would make that kind of decision.
You think about the name showrunner, they run the show. They are
right. So if it's possibly true that the mother is angry, regardless of whatever these allegations are, right? If the mother's angry that they didn't get picked up for another season, she would be angry at the showrunner. Is that what you're saying? I don't really know the hierarchy.
I just don't know that. I don't know how. So Timothy Busfield is credited as directing a few episodes, maybe 5. He EP'd about 14 episodes. And so I don't know if he's a straight up EP on the show. I don't know if he directed
that's a lot of
the pilot.
episodes. Is he in charge of writing characters out?
It would be highly so what I'm trying to get to, thank you. You're putting the cart a little ahead of the horse here, but yes. So the answer is I don't know for sure, very unlikely. So when you're dealing with like a major network like Fox, there's 4 major networks in the United States. And each one of those are network. So network deals are exponentially higher in terms of every aspect, in terms of like, because they're the big, antenna networks. Mm-hmm. So basically they're blasted into 130, 140 million households. Everybody, even people who don't have cables or streamings or whatever, have access to it as long as they have a TV with an antenna. Mm-hmm. So they get a lot of interesting views as a result of that, or audience. And so the big 4 are the most expensive television. I mean, premium really caught up, obviously, and they kind of blow them out of the water now. But they were once the most expensive productions on the planet when it came to television, and they paid the most.
So you're saying that this one guy would not be able to make a unilateral decision about writing characters on the show?
Exactly. So the network would have a major say in who plays what roles and who gets written out. Who would answer to the network would be the showrunner. And they have one showrunner. They've had 4 showrunners on that series thus far, and none of them were Tim Busfield.
So it is also just like, it's interesting.
And he's not a writer on the show.
Right. So you're like, I understand that you're pulling this thread. He has said that the mother is behind it because she's jilted somehow.
Well, actually, how it comes out is
okay. I wanted to continue.
Well, let me clarify that because it's an important point. He claims that the lead actress. Okay. I'm going to say actress for the purpose of what I read. That she reported, or that she said that the mother had told her that, which also seems a little far-fetched. I'm going to accuse this guy of harming my children because I'm upset with him, or she told her I'm upset. She's going to set him up for this.
Okay, or she told her I'm upset that my kids got written off the show, and that's the only statement.
Yeah, so this is where it's ambiguous, but what they're trying to say is that this might have been a motive for the mother to create a lie for her children to set up Tim Busfield. But I don't understand why Timothy Busfield would be set up, considering that he's not a writer, he's an executive producer.
No, of course it's coming from him. And I just fully believe that this is, I mean, it's like the oldest fucking trick in the book, that this is what you say when you don't like the allegations against you, is you try and say that whatever, the employee was what's the word that they always use? Disgruntled. It's a disgruntled employee. You should just completely dismiss a typical ad hominem attack. Completely dismiss their allegations. Let's not even talk about that, because the person who is making the allegations is not credible for these reasons. And and it's just really fucking weird. It's also so common. So because you can't do that to children, because nobody in society would accept you doing that to children and trying to impeach their character, he's going to go to the next adult person in proximity, and that's their mother. I think it's really fucking dirty and transparent. I don't believe it for a fucking second, because who would, I mean, like, I understand you're a stage mom, but don't you want to keep working in the industry? Like, there's no way that she has anything to gain from putting her whole family through this kind of very difficult process of litigating, fucking bringing criminal charges for sexual abuse. It's a horrific thing to even consider. She
brought the allegation to Fox. Fox did an internal investigation, and they found nothing to corroborate the claims and allegations made against Tim Busfield. And then,
I know, but that language is so vague, though.
Let me just finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because there's a little bit more to it. The mother went to the police. The police did an investigation. According to Variety, the investigation by which would have been the producers were not Fox. Fox was the network. The producers were Warner Brothers Television. They obstructed, according to the article, the police investigation. They slowed it down. They hindered the access to witnesses, including other children. and they were very slow to produce any, and didn't produce any internal corroborations in terms of the conversations that they would have obviously had, being, having received this incredible allegation, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the skinny there. There was an internal investigation, but you can't believe that either. You can't hang anybody's hat on that, because why would Warner Brothers or Fox find themselves liable? Why would they do that, right? Like that, they have a motivation. They have an obvious conflict of interest.
Also, I feel like that language is vague enough that they didn't say that they outright disproved the allegations. They said that they found no evidence, right? So it's like, I mean, it's possible that this was done in secret. Like, you can imagine somebody might do this sort of thing in secret, where there aren't cameras, where there aren't things that he could get, there aren't a manner by which he could get caught doing it. You know what I mean? So like, what does that even mean? Yeah. I think that they could have found no conclusion whatsoever and just made that sort of statement saying, listen, we did our part. We did what we were supposed to do. Right? This is what Baldoni's company never did. Right? So
it got crazy, because earlier in the day, the U.S. Marshals were called in because he was not responding to, the Albuquerque Police Department, who were asking him to turn himself in to be charged formally with these crimes. So he was not responding.
Where does he live?
Well, I think he lives near Woodstock in New York.
Oh.
He and Melissa Gilbert bought a farm there.
Did she speak up about him?
I'm instantly a Busfield expert. I'm like sitting there like researching and reading this guy.
Well, it's good if you want to cover something, right?
Yeah.
This true crime stuff, like, you got to get your details straight, because if it ends in litigation or something, we want to know.
He bought a multi-acre estate. It's not even an estate. It's like worth $100,000. They paid $98,000 for it in like 2015 or something.
He bought like a totally wooded mountainside with no electricity and plumbing, right?
It sounds almost like that. Melissa Gilbert, she didn't marry him until 2013, I think it was, and so she's kind of later to the game than I thought she was. Mm-hmm. She had a previous marriage. I fell down that rabbit hole only momentarily. It didn't end well, and she was on to Busfield, who isn't going well. So anyway, I don't know. Listen, I'll say this. He, by the way, did a video on TMZ. Or TMZ is where I saw it, but he released a video. He vehemently denies these allegations. He said that he did not touch those little boys, is what he said.
Okay, but Albuquerque police is looking for him. So has he made himself available?
He has turned himself in.
In Albuquerque?
Yeah, this is the video.
Okay.
He what he said is
I
that
thought he was missing.
Well, he was. What he was doing, this is weird too, was that he was driving across the country. He drove 2,000 miles.
He didn't tell anybody?
To Albuquerque and didn't, I guess, tell anybody. So he said, and then he said, and he said that in part that one of the, he had to get his things in order. He had to deliver himself to Albuquerque, which there are faster ways.
From he had to, trip?
yeah, and he could, but also you could just like pick up the phone and go, yo, hey, it's me, bro. I'm just like, I'm on my way. I'm gonna stop at a couple taco stands on the way, but I am on the way. I'm gonna turn myself in, but he didn't do that. Melissa Gilbert, I don't know what the conversations were, if there were any, between Albuquerque Police Department and her, but somebody ought to have fucking known that this guy was on a 2,000 fucking mile road trip across the country to turn himself in for a heinous crime.
I immediately thought that he was like ditching evidence in the desert or something.
Yeah, that's my first thing I thought of too. Was like, what are you dumping?
He didn't want anybody to know where he was, so he wouldn't be spotted.
Well, when this was, I was tracking this earlier in the day, a lot of people thought, oh, he's unalived. You'll watch, they'll find him unalived, And of course, it's a dreadful thing to even think, but it's hard not to like imagine it immediately. As soon as they said it, I was like, oh yeah. I mean, fuck if he's guilty, right?
Because like if things are piling up and then this happens to him and it's on top of a bunch of other things.
Yeah, it gets ugly, right? So he claims he's innocent, said he didn't do it, and says he's going to fight it vigorously. I if he didn't do it, I feel for him, because he'll be up against a massive fucking problem, and according to the internet, they're not worth a lot of money. They're worth like $500,000. I don't know on which they, what they're basing any of that on. I certainly don't know anything about his actual finances. I can tell you that he directed, about 25 episodes, most of it in fact, all of it major television.
So if the Albuquerque,
and that's a lot of money, dude.
If the Albuquerque PD is involved, so this is a criminal case?
Like I would estimate his least amount of money that he earned since 2020 based on just the TV. I don't know if he's done anything else, such as commercials or otherwise.
Okay, but why do we care how much he makes?
That would be like $1 million.
Why do we care how much he makes?
Well, because it's impactful in terms of like, first of all, motive is a very interesting thing.
Motive for what?
Well, because if they're accusing this woman,
is Albuquerque PD involved because it's a criminal case?
yes, he's being charged. He's been charged.
So why is there
His mugshot is published.
why is his amount of money?
That's why the U.S. Marshals were looking for him earlier today.
So why is it the amount of money that he has a motive?
Will be is if there's a motive for the mother to try and like litigate or
So the long game is that she wins the criminal trial and then she sues him in civil court.
or sues Fox, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know what she's going to get. She definitely doesn't. She definitely hasn't helped her twin's career right now. If
Yeah, this
what
is
she's
why I don't
doing
buy it.
at all, even if what she's doing is the truth,
This is why I don't buy. I should clarify. This is why I don't buy him framing her as some sort of conspirator.
it does seem like a long shot.
I don't believe that anybody would turn their life upside down like this unless they felt a moral impulse to correct a very, very serious wrong.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to your kids?
It's weird to me.
Like anybody who's like even like peripheral to show business knows that you get replaced in a fucking instant. Like nobody would ever make waves like this if they didn't absolutely, especially if she had voiced to somebody else that she was upset that her kids got written off the show, she would just be going around trying to get them more work.
Well, that's how it works. People get written off shows all the time.
No, I know, but like, so why would,
How
is this going to help?
There are crazy stage moms, so it's not completely out of the universal, out of the realm of possibility. That
he's not a big enough fish to try to bury.
Well, Fox and Warner Brothers they're about to get, an $80 million deal, whatever the fuck it is, $50 million, billion dollar deal, my bad. So
I just feel like the mother would have to have like such a unique personality disorder to actually be the person he's trying to frame her as. It's just unbelievable. I don't think that that's how people operate.
No Two Trolls is here. Cosmic's here. Deanna's here.
Oh, Cosmic Urgency wanted to know if the film we were talking about the Olympics and them going live.
It was September 5th.
September 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Cosmic Urgency says I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Solidly made movie. Really enjoyable. It's lovely to see how recent yet how dramatic the change is from then till now. Especially as just you and I being podcasters now, we're just like
podcasters.
But whatever the fuck we are, we're blasting that out over the airwaves to like the entire world if they choose to have it. They, some do, some don't. So Timothy Busfield, he has a fucking bus full of problems, and I feel bad for everyone involved. It's a fucking terrible situation. Obviously, if he diddled these boys, I hope it's, we talked about yesterday, under the fucking prison for that. Just under the prison. And I don't even care if it's minor, bro. It fucks you up. It screws you up, dude. It completely fucks up your proper sort of maturation process. As soon as you've been fucking dealt with in that way, you are now 7 years old and you're sexualized and you're thinking about sex.
Yeah, it's also extreme like agoraphobia in any professional setting. If you were preyed upon in a professional setting as a kid, like their first attempt to have a job at anything, they go and they're hanging out with a bunch of adults and they get preyed on.
Yeah,
that's gonna fuck them up forever.
Gilbert said that, Deanna says that Gilbert buying gifts is bad. If that's true, yeah, I saw one headline of it, and I didn't look for anything about that today because I was kind of focused on what he was going through.
I feel like this might be distorted because here's the thing. Like I know from what you've said that if he's the director, right?
Yeah.
And that there's often like wrap party gifts that that people in the higher up in the hierarchy of the project will give all the other crew and cast.
That's true. And if he's directing if he knows he's directing his last episode of the season,
right,
he might bust out the gifts.
Right. So if she was just the person who did that for him,
yes,
like as like a personal assistant type thing,
right,
then that's completely innocent. It doesn't mean anything.
You're correct.
So I just feel like that's probably like ripe for distortion.
It wouldn't be unusual for a director to buy his cast, regardless of their age. Mm-hmm. In fact, I would say even more so if they're younger, buy them a gift. But it's very common to, and he's well paid. Like I said, the very minimum he made $1 million in that period, that 5-year period, that, so the guy wasn't, rolling in money, but he could go out to Barnes and Noble and get a couple books for the kids.
He could be like, hey, my wife, who's always buying all the gifts for Christmas.
You like Lego? Here's some fucking Lego.
You know about gift giving. Why don't we figure out what we can get that's not very expensive, but very nice, Yeah.
And I also think, like, when you think about the whole sensationalized sort of headline of that, you kind of think, well, who's going to be satisfied with, like, a couple boxes of Lego? I mean, I don't know what she got or got the kids, but I'm sure it wasn't golden bicycles. You know what I mean?
I'm always really, really skeptical whenever a man does heinous things and they try and drag his wife into it, because I feel like more often than not, in almost every single crime show I've ever seen, very seldom is the wife not also a victim. If the man is doing some horrible deed, it's usually like, her life gets turned upside down by the revelation.
I mean, it's unavoidable, right? I mean, if your partner commits a heinous crime like that, there's a reflection on you, just by proxy, and it sucks. It's actually horrific. It's life ruining.
Yeah.
For many, it can be life ruining. If Tim Busfield is convicted of this crime, everyone's going to look at her differently because of it, even if she had nothing to do with it and didn't know anything about it, which is more plausible than the alternative.
Yeah. Georgina Chapman, Harvey Weinstein's wife, she disappeared for like three or four straight years before she,
resurfaced.
Yeah. Well, just like probably in her friends' circles and then maybe in fashion. And then now recently we saw her at a award show. But she used to be like...
I don't even know who she is. Did we see her at a award show? I don't know who you're talking about. Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, Georgina Chapman is now with...
Georgina Chapman. Okay.
Yeah, she's now with... what's his name? The guy who's going to be cast as Gonzo in your Muppet movie?
Adrian Brodes.
Yes. So she's with Adrian Brody now. And she, when he was acting a mess, when he was accepting his award at the award show, I can't remember which one, he tossed his gum to her. And I remember being like, hasn't this woman been through enough? Now she's your gum catcher? You don't deserve her.
We're close. You want me to prove it?
You do not deserve her.
He has a way of being absurd.
Who, Adrian Brody?
Yes.
Yeah, problematic even.
Problematic, yeah.
If you were getting up on a stage in front of all of the biggest names in your industry and you threw your gum to me, I would let it fall on whoever celebrity you had aimed it at. And I would be like, what are you doing? I would let everybody see how absurd that choice was. I wouldn't fucking grab it. She like ran to grab it. I was like, Georgina, have some dignity, please.
He didn't.
He did not, no.
Yeah, he didn't.
Remember, it was like the longest acceptance speech? The guy's a mess.
Anyway, he does have a way of screwing up winning the awards for some reason. I mean, he's good at winning them, but he's not good at accepting them not very good anyway. Tim Busfield. Holy fuck. What a nasty situation. Real messy. Real fucking messy.
No Two Trolls said, I watched the first episode of Adolescence. So good. We'll watch the next episode tonight. I can't believe you could stop.
Well, she has things to do, She's not like us.
She's not like us. I know.
She has...
Hanada said, it's so hot here in Brazil. I'm on the northeast coast. Listen,
you guys are in the dead heat of summer.
I know I know everybody listening wants to travel to Brazil for a vacation, but I'm not. I want to hold your hand when I say that you have to wear like 4 times as much sunblock as you're used to wearing. Because when you go visit the tropics, it is a level of hot and sun scorch that you've just never experienced if you're not.
Well, what's interesting is when you look at the pigment of the original inhabitants, right? Of Brazil, what I call them, the indigenous.
Yeah.
Then they, that pigment, and this is true, that pigment is because of their climate.
You mean their skin?
Yeah, their dark skin.
Melanation?
Yeah, dark skin is, I didn't know this to be true, and then I looked it up, or it came across me in my science feeds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy was explaining it to people.
Yeah.
He made a whole video about how stupid...
That's right, it was him.
Yeah, because he made a whole video about how stupid racism is.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Because
it's geological, guys.
It's literally geological.
Not geological, geographical.
Geographical, I'm sorry. You're right, it's not geological, it's not, they're not eroded. It's geographical. It's geographical. It's fucking wild.
Hanada said that. Rio is 42 Celsius today. Yikes.
Holy shit.
With cold ocean water, yet, here at least we have warm water and a breeze.
That's so hot. I can't even Oh my God. Let me tell you, I got to tell the Americans.
You have to tell the Americans.
It's over 100.
42 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, doing it right now. It's over 100 for sure. 107.
On the beach.
107.
On the beach.
On the fucking beach.
With cold ocean breeze.
Holy shit, Hanada. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just blazing. Fuck. That's almost a fuck that situation. Wow.
This last year, I actually learned a lot about deadly heat as a combination of humidity and heat. And there's graphs you can find online that have like daily reports for the wet bulb temperature. And if the humidity is super high, the wet bulb temperature can be actually low and combine as a deadly heat. I didn't know this. I read a really very informative book with a very scary title called The Heat Will Kill You First.
Yeah.
It's about climate change. And they're like, oh, the whole premise is like, you're concerned about sea level rise? Well, let me tell you, the heat will kill you first.
Yeah. You see, that's got to get melted.
Yeah.
That's got to get melted.
But it was very, very explanatory about how to keep yourself safe by specifically, if you're like, oh, look at the temperature, it's really hot outside. No, you have to look at the wet bulb temperature. And online, there's some tools that'll tell you in like very clear colors, like don't go out and do anything if it's in the orange or red. It's probably pretty bad in Brazil.
It's extremely bad. It's extremely hot. Scott Adams is dead. He created Dilbert.
Did you ever read Dilbert?
No, I didn't. I did. I mean, everybody read a Dilbert or two.
Yeah, like if you read the comics, Dilbert was there.
Yeah, like I've seen, it's crossed my path.
Maybe like your father-in-law had it in the bathroom. A Dilbert
something
comic
like
book.
that, or like, yeah, exactly. Like a collection of Dilberts. Mm-hmm. I read some Garfields that way and shit like that. So it would, he was so prolific. It's entirely possible that I read. I know I read some Dilbert. I have no memory of it, but I know I read some.
He gave voice to the middle class masses rotting away in cubicles. He was an icon for that reason.
And then he fell out of favor because he's this mega guy and he was whatever. He was like nasty and he said nasty shit.
Giant conservative douchebag.
So people are kind of celebrating his death. It's a little chilling. It's like, if they're going to do that with Adam Scott, I wonder what they'll do with some other people.
What's his name?
I mean, Adam Scott. My bad. Let me take that all back.
I love Adam
Scott Adams.
Scott Adams.
See, yeah, a little dyslexia. It shows every now and then, numbers occasionally.
Oh, yeah, that's dysautonomia, or maybe, no, what's it called? Dysnomia? I can't remember what it's called. The dyslexia, but only for numbers. I have that. If I have to like read out a number, I have to go so slow and like double check. And my brain the whole time is like, you're not getting this right. It's so annoying.
So that man, he died of cancer, by the way.
What kind?
The kind that kills you.
Oh, it was prostate cancer, wasn't it?
It was prostate metastasized to the bone, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Sounds like a fucking painful experience. Well, I guess sad, but I guess not sad for some people. Some people are like some people like one of the top voted comments was, so who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, right. Well,
like one of those.
I don't understand the perspective of somebody who's rich enough to not give a fuck and they still want to spend some time arguing with people online. Like if I had this kind of like money or this kind of like following, if I'd done something successful and noteworthy in my life, I wouldn't be bitching at people online and like creating division and making people fucking, like celebrate the day you die. Like,
like fucking J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, like what are you doing, bro?
Idiots.
Why don't you just go be rich and happy someplace?
Yeah. And if you hate the world so much, go build the one you want around you. You have the fucking capability.
Right.
What are you, so fucking curmudgeonly because you're stuck in our mud? Get the fuck out of the mud.
Yeah.
You've got all the fucking the tools and the wherewithal and the money and the fucking whatever.
Why don't you go fucking buy a neighborhood?
Clout.
Kids through college instead of doing all this bullshit.
Oh, you're like exactly gender perfect kids.
Yeah, she's the worst too because she's actually funding efforts to punch down on people.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's misery. She lives in misery and she wants to inflict it on others. That's how I read that. I'm like, oh, you're fucking miserable, and it's better for you to make people feel pain for you than it is for them to experience joy.
Oh, Hinata has some interesting Brazil facts.
Tell me some. I'm a Brazil fan, so tell me.
Brazil, according to Hinata, Brazil is one of the top 5 countries with the most lawyers per capita. And do you know why?
Everybody's getting sued.
No, because Brazil has a really interesting educational system
Oh.
where you go to high school. And
Don't you have a lawyer like in the family?
Yes. My, I don't know what he is to me. It's my dad's.
He's a step sibling, I would
He's a
guess.
stepbrother.
He's a
That's
stepbrother.
Right. Okay, sorry. That's very simple. I should have known.
I think that's how it works. It's the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so they have a really interesting system where high school is very difficult by comparison to the United States. When I went there, like when I lived there for a year in high school, it was like supposed to be 10th grade, but it was basically like college level courses that we were taking.
Yeah.
By U.S. standards. It was very impressive. But anyway, straight out of high school, you can take this exam, which is extremely difficult to pass. It's called the vestibular, and people will study for like a year. It's almost like passing the fucking bar exam. Super difficult. But if you pass, you get to go to college for free.
That's fucking great.
I think there's probably some colleges.
See, that's all it's got to be. You know what I mean? Like when everyone's like bitching about like free college, oh, freeloading this or whatever. I didn't get it for free. Like it's okay if they have to earn it by passing tests or you know hitting certain scores or whatever.
They ought to
that's
do that
okay
because there's a lot of college students that are straight up illiterate here. It's just not good.
Listen, there's a whole report on it. And when I taught at the University of Georgia, and when I taught, I had everybody give me one assignment they had to write. Oh my God.
They couldn't.
I
This was
couldn't
before
believe it.
AI too, so like they couldn't just cheat.
No, the punctuation, spelling, just
Grammar problems.
grammar, like you would not believe. Like grammar is not my strong suit, and I'm sitting here just looking at these things, and I'm like there was one kid who I was like, wow, you didn't get educated. You got all the way to, he's a senior at the University of Georgia, and he was not an educated man. He was not a dumb man. He was a good kid. Like, you know, I sat down and had some good conversations with him.
No, it really sucks that he is in a position where everything is harder for him because he can't really
couldn't fucking, couldn't write
in a journalism school.
In the school of fucking journalism, dude.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
It was alarming. And this happened, like, I would say, like, I had like 35 kids, I think it was, somewhere around there. And I would say out of the 35 kids I had, I would say that at least half of them showed signs of underdeveloped, I guess, whatever, education. You know? Mm-hmm. They were not university caliber papers.
Yeah, Henata said high school here in Brazil is years ahead of the U.S.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. You remember, Angela, I came home and I was like, I showed you it. I was like, look at this.
Yeah.
This is a student in a university, in a journalism school. Transfer, but still.
Oh, Cosmic Urgency said, when you guys pondered if you should cover Luigi yesterday, yes, please, in caps.
Yeah, okay, we will.
Archival Raccoon said, seconding Cosmic.
Okay.
I think that after this hearing, it could possibly be that his case is thrown out.
This is the most exciting moment right now in this case. If the judge finds out that backpack is inadmissible, they don't have anything. Mm-hmm. They have nothing. The eyebrows ain't gonna cut it.
No, they don't even.
Ain't nobody convict him on eyebrows. So if they don't have a weapon, if they don't have any evidence that ties him to that crime, that motherfucker's gonna go get a Big Mac. And we will all that cheering. Guy, so yeah, we're gonna cover that absolutely.
Hinata said that in high school I had philosophy, art, history, geography, and that's university degree level. Yeah, I was amazed when I went there for 10th grade. I was like, "Holy shit, I am so dumb."
Well, I'm not going to confess all my educational woes, but I will say that I feel reasonably educated by American standards.
Yeah. Right.
By Canadian standards, I am not reasonably educated. But by American standards, I'm cool. I taught at a university with what I learned not at a university in Canada. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I didn't lie to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just I went through the whole, what are they called, provosts or whatever.
It's kind of easy to like, you can find lists online of the curriculum that they teach from in any of these universities. Yeah. So a lot of times you can just you can self-study and learn the same thing these people are. And obviously it won't be as much of a rich experience. Listen, it won't be guided at all.
This isn't a great indication of the problem with academia, but it at least might be, a small indication. I get, I come on as a speaker or whatever for UGA, right? I write a course. You help me work on it. I write a full semester, a syllabus, and I bring it in, and it's all based on shit that I know, right? Shit that I've learned, right? Things imparted to me, so on and so forth. Then so I'm hanging out, and I'm thinking, well, I'm in this they gave me a nice little office where all the other professors have their office. And there was this the instructor doing screenwriting, which is something I'm reasonably good at. I walked over to her and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Dale, and I'm teaching like indie film, really, IP development, directing, producing." She's like, "Oh, yeah, I heard." And I was like, "Yeah." So, man, screenwriting, that's a fucking awesome thing. And we just started chatting. What I learned is she has never in her life written a fucking screenplay. In her fucking life, she didn't even write a screenplay in her life.
This is who your kids are paying college to learn from.
They're paying thousands.
Unbelievable.
And this woman didn't even write a script. So I says. I've written a few. Yeah. I've developed far more many than I've written. Mm-hmm. I've developed writers. I'm actually quite good at this. How can I help? And she said, "No, I'm good."
Girl, you're not good. You weren't good from the start.
I was ready to sit down, throw down, and be like, "Hey, well, like show me your fucking shit."
Do you think maybe the kids who are paying for this university deserve to learn from somebody who's got some experience, maybe?
Honestly, it felt like a sham to me.
Yeah, of course.
It did. I felt like a fucking sham to me. I was like, what the fuck are these kids being taught? What the fuck are these kids being taught?
Oh, Archival Raccoon says lots of lectures online too.
There are so many.
No Two Troll says, "I like your t-shirt, Dale."
Yeah, thanks. Woohoo!
The Phantom of the Paradise
is you, Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's a joke. There used to be this CD they used to produce that was like all these spoofs, Broadway spoofs, basically.
Yeah.
The Phantom of the Opera is you, Andrew Lloyd Webber. Anyway.
I have some items.
I'm not much of a musical guy, personally. We got to get into the Baldoni stuff, and then we'll get into that. Yeah? You want to do that?
Yeah, fine.
So, a couple things. First of all, let me start by just showing...
Do you want to get into the Baldoni stuff now? Right now? This very second? Is that what you're doing?
Well, we don't have to.
No, we can. I just wanted to know. You have to tell me what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was gonna start with something.
Okay, great.
What I was gonna start with is...
Can I be right back in 2 seconds?
Of course, yeah. I'll start without you. I don't need you. What's up, guys? It's just you and me. All right, listen. This is what blows my mind, and how easily people, in this and probably everything, distort evidence into into statements that are defining, that are definitive statements. So it ends with lawsuits. This person posts, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds explicitly told WME that they would leave the agency if Justin didn't read the statement that they had prepared for him. Exclamation mark. So sorry. All right. So I'm like, did they? So I click, and they're providing some of Justin's testimony from his deposition. And this is the testimony that they provided. Let me put it up for you, actually. And we'll read it together, because I think it's pretty freaking ridiculous. Here we go. This is the first one, and I'll show you the second one in a moment. So as you can see, it says here, this is the spot that they're going over, right? And it says, my understanding was that this is Justin Baldoni being questioned by Ezra Hudson. And the question, to your understanding, how were you being threatened at the time by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Answer, my understanding, that's the key word here, my understanding, was that there were demands being made that I release some sort of public statement that had been drafted by Reynolds and Miss Lively and given to an agent. Okay, so it's his understanding that happened. He literally is not saying at all that any demands were actually made, that he received any actual demands. He's not saying that. He's saying that that was his understanding. In other words, that that's something that was obviously told to him. So he had to find out about it somehow, right? So then it goes on. Mr. Reynolds and Miss Lively, so he said, released some sort of public statement that had been drafted by Mr. Reynolds and Miss Lively and given to an agent, and that I'd been told that there were multiple calls that were incoming from agency saying that if Justin doesn't release a statement, then they will, Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds, they will leave William Morris. This is something he was told. This isn't something his agent told him. So, by the way, this is actually based on the Jamie Heath recording between Greenberg, who was then Justin Baldoni's agent at WME, and of course, Jamie Heath. The only other thing I remember about it is that it was inferred. It was inferred that if it wasn't done, the gloves would come off. It was inferred.
Come on. So
it was inferred is the fucking answer. And I just want to repeat what this person wrote. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds explicitly told WME that they would leave the agency if Justin didn't read the statement that they had prepared for him. And that is just fucking simply, unequivocally untrue. That statement is a false statement. So let me continue for one more moment, because there is, I want to just give you this quick response that let me actually put us back on and I'll just read this. Angela, welcome back.
Thank you.
Let me read this to you guys real quick because it just explains it so well. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did not explicitly tell WME anything according to the evidence OP provided, the original poster. It's changed.
Thank you.
JB is making an assumption, his word, and having an understanding, his word, about facts without listening to the recordings, his testimony. That's not evidence. Remember, JB was also told that Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni was also told that Blake Lively planted the Hollywood Reporter article, only to find out in his deposition that Melissa Nathan was in fact the one who planted that story, which, by the way, was seen as unfavorable to Justin Baldoni. And led him to believe that it was Blake Lively behind it. That happened. That's in their testimony. We know that. In this testimony that they're citing, this kid is being told some shit from some people. He heard about it.
Yeah.
He's making assumptions about what he heard. And he's assuming inferences that may or may not be there.
And he let that non-information, that uncorroborated information, direct him exploding his own career and attacking somebody in the press.
Insanity, man.
I can't believe it.
Nathan, according to the evidence that we all have access to, deliberately lied to him. So we know at least one of the people that Justin Baldoni relied on betrayed his trust. No one has heard the call from Greenberg, so we don't know what was said. But even if Greenberg, and this is the important part, but even if Greenberg told Jamie Heath that Lively and or Ryan Reynolds threatened to leave WME unless Justin Baldoni signed this statement, that still doesn't mean Blake Lively or Justin or Ryan Reynolds actually fucking said it. Hollywood agents are fucking trained to lie. That's what they do. They literally manipulate or lie with the truth for a living in order to get people to do the things that they want to happen, just like Melissa Nathan did.
They lie with the truth?
Well, they'll manipulate the truth or lie altogether.
Yeah.
Is what I meant to say. So they'll either manipulate what's been said or what's going around town or whatever, or they'll just fucking outright lie in order to try to get an outcome that they have predetermined in their mind, that they have as a goal, as a set goal. And that's the same thing that Melissa Nathan did when she had a goal, man. She had everything worked out. She knew what that fucking Hollywood Reporter article was going to do. And she knew how it was going to affect her client. She knew exactly what she was doing. It was by design.
Yeah.
And it was meant to extract what she wanted out of the situation, which was probably money.
But also, I'm not sure I understand why Justin Baldoni cares what...
Well, here's what I wrote. It is highly unlikely that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds would threaten to leave one of the biggest agencies in Hollywood for anything other than issues to do with their career or their representation. Mm-hmm. Hollywood is tiny, and it would be a seriously bad move to mess with agents over something like this. Agents put massive deals together all the time, and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively need those deals in order to keep working beyond acting i.e. producing or directing or directing. Think about it. Agents are among the first people to be thanked by the winners of Oscars and Golden Globes, etc. They are extremely powerful people. One agent might have as many as a dozen movie stars as big as Blake Lively under their belt. I know some people want to believe that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are the most powerful people in the world and that they can push around entire agencies and 104-year-old movie studios, but they aren't. No single person is. So extorting an agency isn't automatically believable, even if Greenberg said they did.
Okay, but my question is, why?
This is my next thing. So also, why would Justin Baldoni care if they leave WME unless the agent explicitly said...
If he wants them to be buried, why wouldn't he be like, oh, she's going to leave her agency? Great. She'll be fucking burying her career. That's less...
Unless they said Justin Baldoni would be dropped if they did. Right? But that's not what they're saying. Nobody's saying that the fucking agent said, hey, Justin Baldoni, if those guys leave... we're going to blame you and we're going to drop you. But let's try to make some sense out of it, right? So I don't think so. Let me see.
It's so inarticulate, dude.
How would
he can't ever fucking refine his thoughts? And then when the lawyer's trying to like pin him down on like, what was your pattern of thinking there? He's like, I don't know.
How would Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' exodus from WME affect Justin Baldoni?
Yeah,
I don't think it would have. Why would an agent who just lost 2 of huge clients fire another client who is also making huge deals backed by a billionaire?
He was working with Sony. He's fucking got a billionaire. Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense. No. WME knows that Justin Baldoni, with his billionaire partner, would just walk across the fucking street to fucking CAA or UTA, the 2 biggest competitors to William Morris, and set up shop with them. It doesn't fucking add up, man. It doesn't take a lot of fucking thinking through. You know, and I guess, I have some advantages from knowing what I know about the business, but I still think most of this is just logically structured stuff. Like, what does WME do? They represent people. Why would you want to lose all 3?
It makes no sense.
If you're going to lose 2, why would you want to lose all 3? And so, again, unless there's absolute fucking definitive proof, either through testimony, direct testimony from people directly involved, not rumored to be involved, or actual evidence like emails or texts or other empirical verifiably empirical evidence that WME said we're going to pull the plug on Justin Baldoni if we lose these 2 people. I mean, it's just, but this person put this title out, and it got all kinds of love. People are like all about it. They're all about it. Oh yeah, fucking. That Jamie Heath's a hero, and people are like, "Oh yeah, fucking Jamie Heath's such a good guy, man. I wish he's somebody I want in my corner." Wow, you are a fool, bro. You're a mark. You got a big ass mark on your forehead.
Let me go to the next one because this is really fucking juicy.
Yeah, so let's set it up here. So this is some new testimony that just dropped, and we're trying to find the goddamn. Apparently, his entire deposition is out.
Yeah, and I only just heard about this like an hour before we started, so I wouldn't have been able to read through all of it anyway. And, there's other things. Cosmic Urgency is hoping that we talk about other things, and I brought some other stories tonight, too.
What are we gonna?
So it's fine. We can talk about this one. Anyway, this is really, really damning. So this is Justin Baldoni's awareness that Jenny Slate called him a false ally and a fraud.
Oh, fucking dude. This is so damning.
Yes.
I don't know if this will make it into I don't know how this will play to the jury. Mm-hmm. But this is Justin Baldoni. I got to read this whole deposition. This motherfucker got smacked around.
This also explains very well why when at the red carpet, Jenny Slate is at the premiere and she was asked by a reporter what it was like working with Justin Baldoni, and she did an
froze.
expert. No.
Oh, she didn't.
She did an expert deflection.
Really?
She was
I do remember now. Yeah.
She was so great. I wish I could find the clip. I went looking for it, but
I'll try to hunt it down.
Yeah, but she was basically like, "Well, he wore a lot of hats, and that seems difficult. But really, I'm very proud of having worked with all the rest of the cast and crew." She just completely was like, "I'm not talking about Justin Baldoni."
Yeah.
Okay, so here is Ezra Hudson asking Justin Baldoni. Okay.
No, the rest of the live is not going to be. Let me just answer Cosmic. It's not going to be.
I already answered.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay. Besides, this is fucking juicy, dude. This is like fucking put some butter on the popcorn. Juicy. Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Do you want to hear it?
No.
Ezra Hudson is asking Justin Baldoni. Okay, did you hear her speaking of Jenny Slate, did you hear her testify about a text in which she told her team, hey guys, this isn't a quote. The lawyer's just paraphrasing. Hey guys, I don't want anything to do with Justin. I don't want to talk to him, like nothing. And the same goes for Jamie, who is truly unprofessional. Do you recall her testifying about that? And Justin Baldoni replies, I don't know if I remember her exact words, but I remember her saying something of that nature.
Okay.
And then Ezra Hudson quotes.
Well, let me
do you recall her also saying,
listen to this.
And she's quoting Jenny Slate saying, but this has been a really gross and disturbing shoot, and I'm one of many who feel this way. And Blake and I have both complained directly to Ange at Sony, and they agreed with us, by the way. Justin is truly a false ally, and I'm unwilling to do anything that promotes the image that he's crafted as a male feminist. Like, honestly, I have no words to describe what a fraud he is.
I told you this was huge. I told you from the very beginning that Blake Lively is that they decided like they're not going to let, because that's predatory. Like how do women protect themselves if not in this way?
I'm unwilling to do anything that promotes the image that he's crafting as a male feminist. Don't ask me to tell anybody that you're doing that thing you're framing yourself as, because it's a fraud. I'll tell the fucking truth. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. That's to me that's like bomb. Like it's like a bomb.
And so this whole time he wanted everybody to believe that Blake Lively was making up all of these false allegations so that she could steal a movie or whatever. But he can't explain how he's made all of these other women feel this way. I mean, I guess they've tried to shop around the idea that maybe Blake Lively convinced them all to behave this way, but come on, that's just not believable. These people want to continue working, especially with Sony. They're not trying to rock any boats like that.
Diamond said that if I found out that my client was trying to sabotage their own projects, I would fire them.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I can't believe it's
insanity.
I'm wondering if Sony sues them for all of these fucking shenanigans.
Well, let me tell you how.
Turned out fine, I guess, so maybe they won't.
Let me tell you how this likely went. Justin Baldoni's represented at WME.
Yeah.
So WME, they're like, how this goes. This is sort of how a conversation could go.
Give me the inside scoop, Dale.
Yeah, it'd be like this. It'd be like, hey man, Justin Baldoni, fucking sign with WME and we will throw the world at you, because he's got a billionaire behind him. So they're going to be like,
want that.
Who do you want? Look at our roster of clients. So when with Don's Plum, they told us we were in Sundance, CA, right? And then I was like, really? Like, you can just tell us? And he was like, well, we represent Robert Redford.
Oh my God. So they're saying that any of the films they represent get into Sundance because their client is Robert Redford and he decides?
1,000% sure of it. They were like, there's no chance Don's Plum's not going to be in. And then one of them piped up and said, shoe in for the audience award anyway. So
DiCaprio, a bunch of people have testified in their depositions that DiCaprio did say, my agents run this town. They decide who gets into the festivals.
So the point that I'm trying to make, and that's CAA, of course, right? Mm-hmm. But the point I'm trying to make, right, is that if WME is saying, hey, let's pack, they call it packaging. Okay. So agencies call it, they have a name for it. They call it packaging. So agents try to package up their talent into movies. So if you're a large agency, it's basically kind of a mini monopoly, right? They get enough A-list talent on one side of the scale, and then they'll get a billionaire to park their money, and they'll put all of their clients in. So the agency is being commissioned like just through the roof on the deal, and they're very persuasive to their clients. The ones that they want to attach to these package deals. They're very persuasive. They sit them down and they go, Blake, let me tell you why this is great. They know what buttons to push, and they push them vigorously when they want it.
It was so interesting when I was listening to the interviews with Bill Hader, who was talking about Bill Hader and Alec Berg were talking about creating the show, the HBO show Barry.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're both represented by the same agent. And he was like, okay, I'm going to set you guys up to go and do lunch. Come up with a project to do together, and we'll take it to HBO.
Yeah.
It's just like, you guys go sit, you make friends, right? They don't know each other. They've never met each other before. That's
perfect agenting. And that's then, in a situation like that.
The agent is like, then I'll double dip because I'll get paid by both of you guys.
Well, then they'll package it up for the rest of their talent. I bet you that whatever agency they were at I bet you could find
Stephen Root,
multiple cast members or writers or whatever there might be to be part of it. Connie DiCaprio is asking if CAA is still super powerful. Yeah, there are the three most powerful agencies.
They had a lot of defections, though. Didn't a bunch of powerful agents leave and start their own agencies? Did they ever compete?
Who?
Oh, I can't remember. But,
CAA?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was trying to find some of the names.
The three most powerful agencies are WME, CAA, and UTA. And, of the top, who's tops, I mean, there's an arm wrestle between WME and CAA for that title. And that's been going on for decades. You could just say those three agencies probably own the lion's share of all the A-list talent in the entirety of Hollywood.
Kindly DiCaprio said, I was pleased to see Leo looking more happy than usual at the Golden Globes. I think that he will be doing a lot of reflection this year.
I don't think so, man. I think he was on a yacht with Jeff Bezos. I think his reflection
He looks really tan is what he looks.
Yeah, he looks tan. That guy's just, I don't see, I love your optimism, but I think that guy is never coming back.
Speaking of Hollywood, I wanted to share this story with you. There was an acting award. The Astra Film Awards was presented by the Hollywood Creative Alliance.
Oh. Is that like a terrorist organization?
Why?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm intimidated by alliances.
Are we not an alliance?
I'm intimidated by us.
We're not wedded. It's not a marriage. It's an alliance.
It's an alliance.
I am allied with Dale. Okay. The Hollywood Creative Alliance has
with this ring, I the ally.
What?
With this ring, happening? I the ally.
Yeah, that's how it would go. We were total nerds. Okay, listen. Let me tell you a fucking story. Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay. The Astra Film Awards happened, and they.
Never heard of them. Did I get one?
No, but people are very, very pissed
about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So the best actor. Best performance in a horror or thriller.
Oh.
It was a stacked nominees.
Okay.
Right?
Stacked list of nominees.
Thank you. And including Ethan Hawke and Sally Hawkins.
Okay.
And they gave the award to the dog.
They gave the award to the dog, so they don't take themselves seriously.
They gave the award to Indy for his performance in Good Boy.
That's not smart.
No. It is said that they are calling it offensive and degrading to the other actors. Yeah.
Also, that dog was not wrangled. That was the director's dog. So a lot of people were concerned about whether that dog was mistreated during the shoot because animals get way overworked.
Yeah, of course.
Because they don't understand, like directors.
That's what wranglers do is they make sure that they impose rules to keep that from happening.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, that's not the reason why it's controversial. The actors nominated in the category were Alison Brie for the film Together, Ethan Hawke for Black Phone 2, Sally Hawkins, who's beloved to both of us, for a movie called Bring Her Back, Sophie Thatcher for Companion. I've been wanting to watch that one for a long time. She looks fucking badass. And Alfie Williams for 28 Years Later. And they gave it to a fucking dog that was in Good Boy.
The outrage is funny because I remember, I wanted to put this in the book, but remember when Babe, do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
So it got nominated for Best Picture and Marissa Ryan went off.
Yes, I know.
She went off. She was shouting in her house, a pig, a movie about a pig is going to win Best Picture at the fucking Academy Award. They couldn't find a movie better than one about a pig.
I totally agree.
Out of her.
I know.
She was out of her.
I can't believe it. Okay, so the director Ben Leonberg, in his acceptance speech, he said, on behalf of Indy. Can you believe this? Are you listening to me?
Yes.
On behalf of Indy, we are so grateful and thrilled to be recognized for his work in a movie he does not totally understand he was in. This is a genre fueled by originality and reinvention and by audiences who are the most eager to see something new and to be recognized along such amazing actors as Alison Brie, Ethan Hawke, Sophie Thatcher, Sally Hawkins, and Alfie Williams is incredible. Indy is honored to accept this award, especially knowing that he's standing alongside performers who didn't even need to be bribed with treats in order to hit their marks. Indy and I have Indy and I also have to thank the humans who made this performance possible. To Good Boys' amazing cast and crew. Blah,
By the way,
blah.
that's one of the things about wrangling dogs in particular, because they'll overfeed dogs
Yeah.
with treats. I read that. Babe was good. It got nominated for Best. Delicate's defending Babe. It was good. It got nominated for an Oscar. It got nominated for Best Picture. And some people were outraged.
Reacting to Indy's award on Twitter this past weekend, one viral tweet with 88,000 likes said, can we talk about how offensive and degrading it is to the actual artists in that room to gather them all there under the guise of recognizing the best and then give the award to a dog? So stupid. The credits literally end with a little behind the scenes featurette showing the dog being tricked into every reaction captured on camera. An insult to the human nominees, and then they're listed. In all seriousness, I loved the movie, but I think very talented actors losing to a dog for an acting award is in very poor taste. An honorary little award for him would have been cute, but this, disrespectful to the actors. And I just don't know. Like, okay, so you don't want to be a credible organization? You don't want to be a credible award show? Who is it? Hollywood Creative Alliance is like, they do nothing, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to bring that to you because I thought you'd find it interesting, but instead you're just reading.
I do find it interesting. I was just looking at Babe's stats.
You gotta give me a little. No, we're not gonna talk about it.
Justice for Babe.
Justice for Babe. Archival Raccoon says justice for Babe.
It got nominated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Oscars. Like, it's a little outrageous. Best Picture, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, James Cromwell.
Yeah.
Best Director, Chris Noonan. George Miller and Chris Noonan for the screenplay. Roger Ford and Kerry Brown for art direction, film editing, and best visual effects. Anyway, I'm with them. Like you totally delegitimized your award show. You were smart enough to have a fucking stacked category, and then you insulted the category by giving it to an animal.
Imagine getting dressed up to go to one of these things and then being treated like that? Fuck that.
Yeah, no. It's that'll do, pig.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig. I can hear James Cromwell. Actually, he's so great.
Okay, I have another story for you.
That's a crazy story. I'm outraged. Can you tell? I'm ready to have a fucking tantrum.
There was an event called the Adelaide Writers Week.
Oh, in Adelaide, I guess.
Where it had
We have a relative in Adelaide.
It had a whole slate of speakers, okay?
Okay.
Let's see.
It was for writing?
Organizers of Australia's largest free literary festival
Oh, cool.
have canceled the event on Tuesday.
Oh.
After more than 180 writers and speakers withdrew.
AI.
No.
Oh.
They withdrew over the scrapping of an appearance by an Australian-Palestinian writer and academic.
Oh, good for you.
So they were like, I actually don't want to be involved in this organization anymore. I'm out.
Oh, wow.
180 people left, writers and speakers left in solidarity.
That's brilliant.
They had to cancel it. This is why we do these things.
Oh, that's how you get it done, bro. This is what I mean. Like, somebody wrote about like all the fucking turmoil that is America right now. And in one of the comments, somebody wrote, America just needs to know they got to shut it down.
Yeah.
Just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah, like France.
It's simple. Just put the brakes on the whole thing.
I'm sorry. It was Italy that's been doing that. But they were
Shut the country down, bro. Shut it
workers
down.
in Italy have been unanimous. It's really fucking incredible.
Bro, you shut this motherfucker down, it's a wrap.
So the uproar began at this writing festival when the board of the Adelaide Festival, which runs Adelaide Writers Week, announced on January 8th that they had disinvited Dr. Rhonda Abdel Fattah from the event, in quotes, given her previous statements and citing cultural sensitivities at this unprecedented time so soon after the mass shooting in Sydney's Bondi Beach. There was no suggestion that Abdel Fattah or her writings have any connection with the tragedy, the board members added. They didn't cite any specific statements by the lawyer, academic, and writer of fiction and nonfiction that prompted their decision. Abdel Fattah decried the move as censorship and said the announcement suggests that her mere presence was culturally insensitive. And by Tuesday, when the event was canceled, most of the program's speakers had withdrawn. The episode unfolded amid a fraught national debate in Australia about limits on speech following the Bondi shooting.
Brilliant.
And it sounds like it's a conversation worth having.
Brilliant, man. Put the fucking ribbon on all those people. They all won the festival.
Yeah. Solidarity.
That's fucking great.
Solidarity always wins. I love it so much.
I love it, and it's especially important around artists in those situations because these things they're made around artists, like Amazon, like Kindle Unlimited. I mean, it cannot exist except for us who write the books, who put it on there.
Yeah.
My book has like a 4+ star review. When readers, I mean, Amazon, they've given it a badge or whatever, or a tag, calling it an exceptional Kindle experience or something like that. Do you know what I mean? That's not Amazon creating anything. That's us. That's, the writers. Mm-hmm. So when the fucking writers, and when writers know that, they have the power, they can exercise it. And that's what I think Americans don't really truly understand. They have the power. They have the power. If you shut down 1/3 of this country tomorrow, it's a fucking catastrophe beyond catastrophe. It's a rap.
That's right.
Rapid change.
If you do it with a demand, then it'll be met for sure.
But, and until Americans figure that part out, we're going to be kind of in a hamster wheel a little bit.
Well, there's no mutual aid support to accommodate that. I mean, there's people who are
they can't. They're not going to eat. They're going to. And those are the ones that you have to let go to work. The point that I'm saying is that for everybody who can. For anybody who can handle a week.
Yeah, you're right. Just 1/3.
Whatever it takes. If it's 1/3 of the country that stops, this country is in fucking trouble for those moments.
Yeah, you're right. Like if 1/3 of the people didn't go to work and they also went and ate at Waffle House or something, where people are working.
Right.
And tipped those people.
Right.
Maybe it would still work. Anyway.
It's difficult. I get it. I mean, it's always difficult. So is fucking, the loss of your country. Yeah.
I have another story. Do you want it?
Yeah.
Rapid firing these today. You ready?
Rapid fire.
You know how AI data centers are really terrible for the communities that they're built in?
Yes.
Not only do they destroy previously undeveloped land, most of the time people are selling off their farms and having them converted into data centers with, big like solar power and like the the battery towers for storage and shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but they also, there's a lot of communities that say that their air and water is being poisoned. And there's the really immense low noise that seems to be making people sick. Really horrible stories. They also create a ton of heat that I guess they're saying is creating more intense storms in these communities. I don't know, like it changes.
Intensifying the storms that come over. They're like, ooh.
Yes.
Little fucking.
Exactly.
Tornadoes and stuff. Storm boost.
Anyway, so the communities are starting to push back against the proposed building of these data centers.
They did here.
They always say like, oh, we'll build a data center. It'll employ 100 people or something. And communities are like, not worth it. So at least 25 data centers were canceled last year as communities organized and pushed back against them. And that is 4 times as many in 2024. So communities are catching on and they're like, not on our backyard.
That's so fucking great because that means that people are out there doing the research and then getting the word out. Mm-hmm. Because you can't obviously have any experience with it. Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. Would be most people's answers because they've never lived with it. It's kind of like, leaf blower sounds like a great idea.
Oh my God, what a fucking nuisance, dude.
What is this? And it blows leaves. Let's do that. Great idea. Honestly, it should be
I will never
banned.
Stop just banging the drum against leaf blowers. My fucking neighbor all the way down the street, like we're on one corner and he's on another, and the gas fumes reached me all the way to where I was outside my front door. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
I wrote many years ago. I think it was in probably 1998 or 1999. I wrote a short animation, and it was one leaf blower. And we just follow this leaf blower, and he's blowing leaves in front of him, and his pile just keeps increasing, and he just keeps blowing them in front of him. And then the camera's kind of moving out as we see him like taking all these leaves away from this neighborhood, and he keeps pushing this pile until we start seeing other leaf blowers pushing with their pile, and then they all converge upon this big mountain of leaves as the camera keeps rising and rising, and we just see that because I used to bitch about where the fuck are you going with those?
Into the flower bed mostly, but
okay.
It's really funny.
That was my little animation story.
Delicate said the battery thing tracks.
Cosmic Urgency hates it, I promise.
Because they are saying the 49ers get injury prone. Oh, okay. You guys are talking about football in the chat? Hang on a second.
Fuck the 49ers. What about them? No, it's fine. Whatever. The Eagles just weren't up for it, man.
What are we talking about?
Painful. I don't know. You can tell tell me that. I got to react to that.
The battery thing tracks because they are saying the 49ers get injury prone because their practice facility is next to an electric/battery facility.
Oh, really?
What? Yeah. Apparently it's fucking toxic, dude. There's of course it's all in these like black and brown communities, these poor people who can't fight.
Well, you don't understand that this 49ers are broken. They have like
oh really
7-8 starters out. They might be the most injured team in the NFL, and they beat the fucking Eagles. Ugh, God.
And it might be because their training facility.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. That's really, really wild.
Hey, man, that would be really...
Congrats to the 49ers for you, Delicate, by the way. Congrats.
That would be really cool if they actually figured out if that was true and then stopped these data centers from being built on that premise.
I have to confess something, though.
You're going to make a confession?
I don't like Brock Purdy, and I don't know what it is. Like, I don't like him personally.
It's
like, I never met him. His name's Brock. That doesn't help.
His name is Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy is not good.
That's a character you write in a super, super literate...
He's an exceptional quarterback.
Literal novel.
I think he might have the prettiest spiral in the game.
Well, the purdiest, you mean?
Purdiest, yeah. How I didn't think of that. But I don't know what it is. I just don't like the guy. And it's not just because we have a small rivalry between the Eagles and the 49ers. It's a little bit there. It's really because I just don't like the guy. Like, I like Kittle. Sad for him.
Let's unpack this. Why don't you like him?
I think he has a smirk I don't like. He has a smirk.
I have to look him up.
There's a smirk he has that I'm like, like when
when
I see him, the words "wipe that smirk off your face" like a ticker just go right past my.
Are you being insensitive to Delicate?
No.
He does have like a he looks like he's meeting his date's dad and trying to pull one over on him and act like he doesn't have bad intentions. That's what he looks like. That's what his smile is.
That's good.
He looks like he's like putting on a grimace rather than a genuine smile.
So I struggle with Brock Purdy as a man to man.
He looks like a kid.
He does, and he also looks like a kid. So there's something about that probably bothers me.
He's 26. I can't believe that he looks like a teenager. Anyway, he's richer than I'll ever be, so maybe I should shut up.
He ain't gonna give you your money if you don't. New Jersey's. You want to hear some uplifting news?
I would love to.
This is not the only state doing this, by the way. Hopefully, it's a trend that will continue. But New Jersey's medical debt relief initiative nears $1.4 billion forgiven for over 828,000 New Jerseyans.
So they're just taking their government surplus and they're just putting it into this medical debt?
$1.4 billion they've written off of medical debt from people who've been burdened not only with their medical situation.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, though, that's fucked up.
See, Cosmo is so contrarian. He says he looks nice. I didn't say Brock Purdy didn't look nice.
I
would say he probably does look nice.
He looks nice on purpose,
yeah,
is what it looks
exactly.
like.
A little too nice.
He looks like...
a little too nice, maybe, huh? Oh, yeah, that's great. He looks like the kind of guy I'd be like, wait, are you her sister? Are you her sister? Oh, your mom. Oh.
Exactly. That fucking
Oh, it's nice to meet your sister. Oh, you're her mom? What? I was going to sleep with you.
I never would have guessed.
I'm sure he's a stand-up individual. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, what were you just saying?
He's an extreme talent. Like, seriously, the guy's so good at his...
I wanted to say something
He's
about
one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I wanted to say something about what you were just saying.
Maybe throws too many interceptions. New Jersey and medical debt...
Oh, yeah, okay.
$1.4 billion forgiven. 828,000 people...
You don't have to just repeat the whole
thing.
Who
need the fucking help, got the help. New Jersey's... I'll tell you, man, I lived in New Jersey. I owned a home in New Jersey. What? The taxes in New Jersey are outrageous. But that makes taxes worth it. What?
You understand what's happening?
Tell me.
Okay. These people are being charged for medical procedures, right?
Yeah.
Doctors' visits, fucking whatever. They're going into immense debt. And then the government is using taxpayer funds to pay off the debt to those insurance companies and the hospital corporations.
Oh.
Instead of forgiving the debt outright and not paying it all at all anyway. Sorry. I'm not feeling very well.
Let me shake it out of you.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Are they forgiving the debt, meaning that the hospitals are no longer charging it, or are they forgiving the debt, meaning that they're paying it off?
Yeah, they're paying it off.
They're paying it off. Okay, so they're taking taxpayer funds.
It's debt relief.
Okay, so they are paying money to these giant corporations instead of the government mandating that they get stiffed for charging for medical care. You know what I mean? So these insurance companies are getting more taxpayer money. They're just basically siphoning a bunch of taxpayer. I mean, it's good
come on.
It's good that the people who are carrying that debt aren't having to pay it. But don't you see how that's kind of a scam?
No, listen. We know. Look, you have to deal with what you have. The United States of America does not have universal health care.
Okay, but do you understand that this would be a really, really great opportunity for New Jersey to do something about that?
Well, the first thing they got to do.
Spending all that money and it's going into like CEO, like insurance company CEOs' pockets, or what?
Not what I was expecting.
You have to think about this.
I am thinking about it, and I think it's wonderful. I think debt relief is
money. Where is it coming from, and why?
It's coming from the taxpayers.
Okay, then it's not. What they should do is forgive the debt, meaning that you don't have to owe it anymore, and nobody's going to pay it because we're the government, and we're saying that it doesn't exist anymore.
I don't know what the structure is, so I don't know if there's any. I don't know how the tax structure works on this. I don't know the deal.
It's just so often
in the Murphy administration's sixth round of medical debt relief, Governor Phil Murphy today announced that more than 53,000 New Jersey residents will see a combined $86 million in medical debt bills abolished as a result of the state's ongoing partnership with national nonprofit Undo Medical Debt. To date, this partnership has seen nearly $1.4 billion in medical debt eliminated for over 820,000 New Jerseyans. And by leveraging approximately $600,000 in American Rescue Plan funds from the state's investment in medical debt abolishment, Undo has purchased this debt from provider partners. And this, by the way, this is like a lot of how businesses work. So a lot of these.
So they purchase the debt and then they
at a reduced rate,
and then they're not paying it.
So what they do is, what happens?
Is it not being paid?
Well, no, so they're writing it off. So they're purchasing it. So like, it's just the same thing. If you go,
that's a little better.
When people get out of control with their debt, like their credit card debt or whatever, right? You can get a company. I had a friend who just went through this. You can get a company who will call up all your creditors and they'll negotiate either buyouts because you have the money to pay off. Like, for example, somebody might get an inheritance, right? And maybe they're carrying $30,000 in credit card debt that's been like weighing them down for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they're going to get out of it. And maybe they've been late on all of it. Maybe those cards are even canceled. Maybe they have some shitty payment arrangement that they barely make. But they get this fucking inheritance. They can hire a lawyer or a company who will go in and negotiate. I used to be a bill collector way back in the day. Worst job I ever had. You want to talk about starting the day off wrong every fucking day? Try calling somebody up, telling them they got to pay their bills. When you know that you're going to hear things like, I'm broke, I lost my job, my mom just died, whatever it is. It was a fucking terrible life. But in that situation, I would call up and I would call you up and I'd be like, yo, pay your bill. And then you'd be like, hey, I don't have the money. I'd be like, well, can you come up with half of it? If you come up with half of it, I'll write the whole thing off right now. Because I actually get parameters as a debt collector.
You shouldn't keep telling the story
file.
because it's making me not like you.
That's okay. We'll get over it. It says in the file, like, how much money you can save them.
That's such a scandalous fucking job to take.
Well, the good news is that I went right to the top amount every time, and they tell you not to. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Start at 10% I can go to 50. Okay. Hey, Bob, I'll give you 50% off of this shit if you come up with the money today.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is that's the leverage that they're going in with. They're going in and they're negotiating these really aggressive deals and they're eliminating this debt because a lot of this debt probably sits unpaid, so they're probably going after things that are like 90 days old, or these relatively difficult collections, you'll call them. It's wonderful because here's the thing about it is this actually gets better as you get deeper into the article, because by doing that, what they're also doing is they're eliminating potential credit issues on because I think Donald Trump flipped that back and you can now credit report.
I wanted to tell you that this is breaking news.
Breaking.
It feels so ridiculous.
This just in.
I love it. The Lively v. Baldoni subreddits have just blessed us with another excerpt from his deposition that we haven't seen yet.
Do you want to go right into it right now?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. This just in. Hold on tight.
The post title is Justin Baldoni tries to spin why he sent the Hailey Bieber tweet to his PR team,
oh,
claiming...
God, I can't wait.
Okay. All right. That was a really cute reaction, babe. Okay. Question. I think this is Gottlieb. Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Questioner.
Question. Sure. By the time of the first message from Miss Abel, the time of the first message from Miss Abel is 10:42 a.m. And the time of your message to Miss Abel about Hailey Bieber is at 12:06 p.m. Justin Baldoni says, so I don't have a calculator, but could you help me with how much time is between those two texts? And Gottlieb says, I think you know how much time is between these two texts. And he's like, I genuinely don't know how much time. Gottlieb is saying, what is it you would like to say? They're figuring it out. Justin Baldoni says
needs assistance on some simple math, huh?
Yeah, from 10:42 a.m. to 12:06 p.m. Listen, It's not his fault. His Mercury is in malefic enclosure in his natal chart. And this is why he struggles with information sometimes. Mine is too, and so do I.
Okay. I'm not,
Next question. Okay. What were you responding to when you said, this is what we would need, and you sent the text, the Twitter thread of Hailey Bieber? Justin Baldoni says, I don't agree with the question. I can't answer that.
Say what?
Gottlieb
is
asking,
to agree with the question?
What were you sent? What were you trying to convey? Now strike that. He's scrambling a little. Why did you send this text message at 12:06 p.m. to Miss Abel in which you say, as read, in quotes, this is what we would need, and the only thing you have put into the text message is a screenshot of a Twitter thread where the line at the top says, in quotes, Hailey Bieber's history of bullying many women, not just Selena Gomez, throughout the years, thread. And Baldoni says, that's a very long question you just asked me. He's trying to deflect.
Oh, I love this. This is what Leo did. This is the same shit Leo did.
Gottlieb responds, why did you send that to Miss Abel? And Baldoni says, but I can't answer the why. It was not a response. That's why I couldn't answer the question. Gottlieb, again, why did you send it to Miss Abel? And he said, again, we were in a place of defense. And as you may have seen from many of the earlier text threads you've shown me, I was afraid. At this point, I felt I was up against Goliath and Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. And everyone...
Oh my God, he overreacted.
I know. And everyone in their circle, Hugh Jackman, Sean Levy, Taylor Swift, by that point...
this guy needs he needs meds.
I know.
He needs meds.
It's really...
What's amazing is he's convinced everybody. If you think about that thing that I read, that I wrote to everybody, how can all of these people...
Yeah.
And just him be the one that's right here. And here it is. It's right here. He's like...
At this point, I felt I was up against Goliath and Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and everyone in their circle, Hugh Jackman, Sean Levy, Taylor Swift. By this point, as I testified earlier, I was essentially forced or threatened to step down off my film. He has never articulated how that happened. Nobody has ever shown any evidence whatsoever.
There's literally no evidence except him saying this shit.
He continues.
Anybody asked him to step down from anything, and he still has the director credit today, and he still owns the movie today. That's madness.
He continues, I wasn't able to finish my own film, even considering it tested higher. Somehow the actress of the movie, who was not a producer, was able to take complete control of the film. By this point, Miss Lively had requested that my name be removed, so I had my film by credit removed. I was removed from the majority of marketing materials, from the poster. I was being removed for the most part from the trailer.
He's admitting to retaliation. This is what's happening.
I was being removed for the most part from the trailer.
From the most part. You mean you're forgetting the part where it says a film by Justin Baldoni and directed by Justin Baldoni?
I know that she had been working with Taylor Swift to make sure that she got the song that she wanted in the film, and I had assumed that was not a battle or a fight that I could ever win.
Why would you? Tears Ricochet couldn't have been better. Have you listened to the catalog?
That is a gift. You're going to fight being given a massive gift?
Fucking...
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All of the cast had unfollowed...
I can't fucking believe it, man.
Listen, all of the
If you'd be like, dude, I'm going to get Taylor Swift, but you got to use this song. I'd be like, okay. Like if it fit. If it didn't fit, I would be like, well, thank you both. No, thank you. They offered us Perfect Circle and none of it worked.
If he thinks that was not a battle or a fight that he could ever win, then okay, you got a Taylor Swift song in your movie. Good. Good work, dude. You didn't lose. Continuing, okay?
Oh my God.
All of the cast had unfollowed me, which is a very public thing to do right before a movie comes out, all in unison. And at that time, I was being threatened via my agency that if I didn't release a statement, then the gloves would come off. Now, I don't know the exact sequence of the time in which I sent that text, but I will tell you that the feeling and the aura around the environment that was created, not by me at that time, created a lot of fear. I didn't know what was possible, so we were in a defensive mode because at this point, I didn't know what Miss Lively or her group of powerful Hollywood elites were capable of. So I saw a message or I saw a tweet, which I did not read, and I saw that it was a celebrity woman who had a history of bullying, and I resonated with the term bullying because to me that was a true statement to what I experienced. I felt I was being very bullied. So I sent that to Miss Abel on a whim in an emotional state, but I made sure to preface it with, this is what we would, with an emphasis and the operative word being would need. Not that we need to do this, not that I want this, but this is what we would need if lies were to be spread about me intentionally.
Oh my fucking God.
The next
he
question.
just admitted to retaliation.
I know it.
That's an admission to retaliation.
Yes, and he directed his PR people to invent a negative story about her.
It is an admission of retaliation. Not only is it an admission of retaliation, but he laid out the entire motivation behind his retaliation for the fucking lawyers. I can't even believe he did that.
I'm so interested in whenever he's going to articulate a defense. Do you think we're ever going to hear what his defense is? Because so far he's just been admitting.
Well, it's paranoid. He's got some kind of paranoid.
No, but what's his defense for
disorder.
any of these allegations? He just keeps telling the story she's telling. The next question from Gottlieb is the gloves would come off conversation hadn't happened at that time you sent this, right? He said, so Justin Baldoni answers, so then we can imagine that conversation, it was all mixed into the same feeling, but the feeling I had was everything else that I said.
So the conversation that he cited.
So he's lying in his testimony that he was motivated to send that based on something that hadn't even happened yet.
Well, he didn't lie because that would never be properly, I think. I don't think you can reasonably can categorize that as a lie.
The gloves would come off conversation hadn't happened at that time.
Yeah, no, but that's just him being. Well, what you do see though is you see this guy having this emotional outpour, and you see this guy conflating. So when you have a conflation of facts, when you have a paranoid reaction to these things, I mean, he's talking about these people. What an idiot! First of all, they were there for you at your disposal. The problem is that he exposed himself in a way that he didn't necessarily intend to. But couldn't, I guess, help. I mean, you heard Jenny Slate just a moment ago in terms of how he, by their perception, these many that she cited saw him, in the way in which he conducted himself on that set.
User Strict Locksmith on Reddit said, so essentially he confirmed he wanted to paint Blake Lively as a bully. He spun a lot of hogwash about defense and all, but he did admit that that's what he meant when he sent that to Abel.
Yes.
That he wanted to paint her as a bully.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wanted to paint her as a bully. It doesn't matter if it's like bullying other women or whatever. That's irrelevant completely. It's retaliation. It's admitted.
Also, how are you the David in this situation when you have a billionaire backer? I don't get it. Why does he feel like he's the small guy? Because he has to feel vulnerable. Wow. I think a lot of these really like insulated religious organization types, they have a very, very strong tendency for persecution complex. Mm-hmm. They feel like I told you this before about there's that saying about if that man will always strive to have something to struggle against, and if his life is so convenient and everything is provided for him, then he will struggle against that. Yeah. So here he got everything that he ever wanted. He's building the career that he dreamed of. And then here he is having to figure out ways to struggle against it. It is that achievement that is now attacking him. And it's this like metastasization, whatever the word is, of this persecution complex where they feel like they feel a sense of purpose when they're being attacked. And so they're always looking for attackers, right? Because that's how they connect with that's their driving force in life is like, oh, I have to be on the defensive. So now I know what to do. Right? Even if it's never even happening.
Let me answer this for Conley DiCaprio, if I may. She asked if she hires people for a movie, will she have to pay their health insurance? And so the answer to that question is no. You should be hiring everybody as independent contractors. If you are union, which means then that you're SAG signatory, for example, if you're working with SAG actors, or you're working with IATSE as a crew, for crew. In any of those cases, you would definitely their medical is covered in your union dues. So you'll either pay their medical through union dues that you're paying or union fees, or they'll be responsible for it through their independent contractor status. I never paid anyone's medical.
Austin is
Does it
saying
make me a
that
bad person?
what Baldoni is doing is covert narcissism, like pedestrian covert narcissism. Projection, Darvo, dismissing, minimizing, and triangulating.
Brilliant.
Austin, I want to know if you know of any like books or resources that somebody could read about this sort of stuff. Like, I'm not trying to like psychoanalyze him, but I would love to know more about those terms, everything that you listed. It'd be really fucking cool if I could like explore that. I don't know if there's a good book on it or what.
I want to get my hands on this whole thing.
I know that he's twisted. he's a head case.
If anybody knows where I
He's
can
not
get my
acting right.
hands on this thing, let me know.
What do you mean?
Even if you're watching this after the live, please just put it in the comments. I want this whole damn transcription. I
know. It'll. I'll be able to. I gotta go find the link.
Cosmic will let you know when we're going to read the whole fucking thing, so you can find something better to do.
Read a book by the fire.
There you go. Well, I'm amazed. I'm amazed by how revealing I think his testimony is the most revealing testimony of all. I think that, first of all, that was to me an admission of retaliation, or the intent to retaliate,
Absolutely, he is admitting that he was in this. He talked
and that
about
he had to retaliate.
An aura in the environment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah. With all this fucking shit, we just did it earlier.
None of that is an articulate.
We just did that earlier with this fucking
clear
shit that I just read. That it was inferred.
Yeah.
Like this guy is filling in gaps. He's just filling in the gaps of stories with his own paranoia. He applies this paranoid perception.
I can't believe he's sticking to it after all this time. Like, he never woke up and was like, wait a minute, maybe I didn't have it all right. Even after it was revealed to him by Jones Works attorneys that Melissa Nathan had lied to him and allowed him to believe that Blake Lively was behind, that Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan, was behind a negative article about him when it actually was, in fact, Melissa Nathan, and she was bragging to her friends about it and laughing at his expense. After he found that out, he didn't change his entire approach to his whole deposition. He didn't think for a second like, oh, fuck. Maybe I've been manipulated to feel really badly about this whole situation. Maybe Blake Lively didn't do anything at all. Maybe I'm just a paranoid, delusional nutcase. I cannot believe he's still in this situation. I mean, I guess, she gets to keep dragging him through the mud. It's not like he can say.
He's obviously in a fucking. He's buried in it. I mean, there's no getting out of it at this point.
But that even in these recent depositions, he's still digging his heels in is wild to me.
I can't believe that he's. I just can't believe that he can't. I'm so sad for him that his perception of life is so harsh. But what it is if you think about what Jenny Slate said, then you have to know that he is aware that some people are perceiving him in this way.
As a fraud?
As a fraud.
Yeah.
And so, what could be more devastating than, look, part of what I think was so difficult for Amber Heard was a lot of people perceived, it seemed, that she was using DV as a way to put her on a stage and make fees.
Yeah.
And go on tours and be the spokesperson, be one of the main spokespersons for surviving domestic violence. And I personally got that feeling. It certainly called it into question for me because of the way in which things had unfolded.
Yeah. Also, her demeanor in her public speaking was strange.
Very strange.
It was very performative. And I understand that some people deal with anxiety differently than others, but it was just...
It felt false.
It was a little Erica Kirk. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I know it's a bad comparison because Amber Heard is not like Erica Kirk at all, but it was a bit like, here's my, I'm up on the stage in the spotlight.
Yeah.
But the only reason why we agree with the jury's decision in Virginia is because of watching the trial and the specific questions posed to the jury, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a really good way to unnecessarily make people upset to talk about anything other than that. Because it's such an incendiary case. Like, everybody's got really strong opinions about it. And I don't ever want to make people feel like I'm on the wrong side or not on their side. Like, of course I support victims, and of course I hope that everybody gets the due process that they deserve, What Melissa Nathan did to Amber Heard is unquestionably absolutely fucking ghoulish.
Yes.
And I really, really hope that she gets absolutely destroyed, completely buried,
Yes,
doesn't ever get to have a job doing anything remotely similar.
No, and I'm empathetic to Amber Heard about that, and I feel bad for her that she went through that. I wish their whole situation didn't have to happen. And I wish that they, but look, as far as I don't want to get into Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Amber Heard, I agree with the jury's decision on the Amber Heard trial. And because I agree with that decision, then in my opinion, Amber Heard, based on the evidence that I saw and that I watched with my own fucking two eyeballs and that I listened to with my own damn ears, pre-tinnitus, that, Amber Heard made false allegations.
Yeah, except they
and
could,
for me, it's like,
they sided with Amber Heard on the one point that she was accused of trashing the penthouse, and that was never proven. So that was the one that they sided with her on.
Yeah, I mean, the weirdest thing is saying that they sided with her. They didn't fine for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's not. There's no side. Like, somebody said that in one of the chats. They were like, the jury found for her. They didn't find for her, not once.
Right.
What they didn't do was award him.
Right.
Specifically. He didn't win all of his.
I phrase it
which is fairly common, by the way. Gluck 18's being nice. He said your book needs an audiobook. It would blow up so big. I would love to believe that. It does need an audiobook. It's true. Voice AI or cast may be useful because it's dialogue heavy, but any audiobook would do. It does need a cast. You're inspiring me for something, actually. She says, I know AI literally speaks with human tone and emotion now, and you can make as many separate voices as you want, but I would never do that. I would never go with AI.
Well, because you'd have to feed your book into an AI system, which means they steal it.
I'm also,
and then they're learning off of it, and then they generate other, whatever properties that AI gets to own and use,
My current stance is that generative AI for creative purposes is not something I support.
It's also a really bad copyright issue,
I don't think it is, but
yeah, if you feed your book into an AI system,
yeah. I mean, people
that's
could.
Theirs now.
Anyway, I'm not gonna use a cast, but maybe there's a way to cast it and share the money with the cast.
Yeah,
I could potentially put like that out. Yeah, you got me inspired. Actually,
I don't know if you know this, but I was once a casting director.
Yeah, I trained you. I do recall. I believe I trained.
So we could just do it again. We could get right back on that horse. Get the band back together.
Let's do it. We're going to talk about this, and thank you, Gluck, because you just really, honestly, you just made me think. Hey, if it was, I mean, if readers, if actors could read this and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, this would make me some money. Maybe I can cast them, because I could definitely produce it. I just need the talent, and I'm not going to use AI. I can't do it. Generative AI creatively, I just can't do it. It's not even about feeding my book. For me, it's about using artificial intelligence to create what a performance is to me. I want to hear people try to read my writing anyway. What's one of the funnest things about fucking writing, especially when you write like a screenplay or something, when you hear somebody read your shit and you're like, that is not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Wow. Because that's what's really cool about it is you have it in your mind how it plays out. And then an actor puts out their interpretation of it, and it's completely different, and it changes everything, and it's amazing. Leo did that a bunch on.
Would you cast an actor to like impersonate all of your celebrity friends?
They're playing Leonardo DiCaprio.
I know, that'd be really fun. It's a shame that AI is like this like monster beast that we don't want to engage with, because it would be too easy to use to like replicate his voice. I mean, obviously it's not legal and we can't do it. I mean, it's like not even a question, but it sure would be pretty awesome if we could. Yeah,
it would be. We got to figure that out. It's too cool.
Do you want to cut out early tonight?
No. Get a grip, bro. I got so many stories. You sit right down. Mm-hmm. We ain't done yet. So, on It Ends with Lawsuits, somebody posted that Blake and Ryan called the office at their penthouse Buckingham Palace because so many celebrities walk through it. I think that's hilarious.
It's super hilarious.
I would totally.
Are they trying to frame that as another bad thing that they did?
Yeah, I guess.
We should call our house Buckingham Palace just for the hell of it.
Yeah, or like, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I think it's great.
I bet their kids love it too.
Yeah. Well, I just love being around now. Go to Buckingham Palace, which is the office, because that's where the people go, is to the office. They don't like hang out on the couch.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I have many things. Let me gather them. We never covered Quentin Tarantino talking shit. I mean, I guess we touched on it. He talked shit about Paul Dano. He talked shit about Owen Wilson. He talked shit about Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard was even moved emotionally to it at one point, because I saw something where he was like, where he was interviewed about it, and he was like, it's really hurtful. It's really hurtful. So basically, fucking Tarantino being a fucking bully, what a jerk off, man. It's just like, he's like the J.K. Rowling of directing. You know what I mean? No, seriously, like the guy fucking directs all these brilliant movies. Everybody's beloved. He's beloved. Not good enough. Has to be a fucking jerk off too. It just blows my mind. Like, you think of, Steven Spielberg and the fucking class act that man is, despite being absolutely king of the fucking world when it comes to filmmaking, right? Mm-hmm. Who's bigger than Steven Spielberg? Absolutely nobody. James Cameron, possibly, but I don't think he is, because he's been making the same movie for 30 fucking years, right?
Yeah, this happened in early December last year.
Which?
This story you're talking about.
Okay.
Tarantino was...
Yes, exactly. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because George Clooney came out and said that he would be honored to work with the likes of Paul Dano, Owen Wilson, and Matthew Lillard after Quentin Tarantino. Quarantino insults. He and his quote is, "We are living in a time of cruelty." I mean, it's interesting that he thinks it's now the time of cruelty, because cruelty has been going on, especially in Hollywood, but pretty much fucking everywhere. Bipedals exist. Cruelty exists.
Well, okay, so he was talking to Bret Easton Ellis, on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast.
Yes.
And he was a little loose-lipped, not just about Paul Dano, although that was the cruelest thing that he'd said, but he was really judgmental. He was being asked of, like, what were his 10 favorite movies, and he said there will be blood except, which is just such an unnecessary thing to do. It's just like being mean for mean's sake. But the reason this person had an interesting theory about it. She said, I don't know if her username is misgender. Her @ is Girl Draws Ghosts on Twitter. She said, "Real talk, I think the reason Tarantino went so hard on There Will Be Blood is because that was the exact moment that Tarantino realized that Paul Thomas Anderson wasn't his contemporary anymore. He was pulling ahead. Paul Thomas Anderson was evolving as a director." And
that's super interesting, because it does.
And Tarantino has remained utterly linear in comparison.
I think that's a very interesting take.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That it's
whose take was that?
This is her username is Girl Draws Ghosts on
Fuck
Twitter.
yeah, that's really fucking clever.
It's so smart.
Yeah.
And the reason why that makes so much sense is because everything he's ever done has been to try and impress people. Like, very clearly in his work, he's always just trying to be like the most the most provocative. He always gives himself the roles where he says the N-word, right? You know what I mean? His monologue.
Where he's like got Selma Hayek, where he's tasting Selma Hayek.
Exactly. It's just like, it's very clear that he's always trying to telegraph this insecure little boy into everything that he does. So of course that would be this too. I saved a lot of my favorite tweets about that from back then. We never covered it, and I was like, oh well, I guess I'll save these. Ryan Hollinger says the guy who cast himself so he could spout racial slurs, suck feet, and put on a jarring Australian accent.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know what the latter part.
You have the nerve to say that about Paul Dano. I think that was in Django Unchained. I don't think you saw that. I
didn't see that movie, and I don't have any plans to either.
This guy has another film criticism take. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna blast you with all these.
Come on, bring it.
Okay. Rory is confused is his username on Twitter. The Tarantino Paul Dano thing, right, is to do with how all his films are fantasies of being a total badass. The good guys are badasses, the bad guys are badasses. So a character actor who is supposed to be pathetic scans as incomprehensible to Tarantino. Like Paul Dano is playing a character who's supposed to be pathetic.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he is saying that Paul Dano is pathetic, and that's why he wasn't good in the movie, instead of realizing that that's the point of his character in that movie.
Right. And why it was cast.
It's a Jungian thing, of course, since Tarantino is not a badass, regardless of how he poses in every photo shoot. He's rather a Paul Dano character-esque dweeb. He hates Paul Dano because he's denied his shadow. And Paul Dano reminds him too painfully of himself. But also, this is complicated by how there are pathetic dweeb characters in Tarantino films. They're the ones played by Tarantino. Here's where we approach the psychological Baroque. These roles plausibly function to drain his shadow by performing it out as fiction, maybe. It's also just totally credible that he hates Paul Dano because he's pro-Palestine, and Tarantino lives in Israel. It's notable, incidentally, people also like to attach their identity to the IDF because they see it as so badass and powerful, but that's a whole other tangled web.
Yeah. Guys, I know we're going to be coming to an end soon, and I should be doing this at the beginning, but I kind of do it at the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and what's the other thing you got to do? I don't know, write your mom. Oh, share, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Do all the nice, kind things that you
write your
can
mom.
To help us grow, because we do want to grow this life.
We
want to get nominated.
We have to get nominated at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, we want to get nominated. And I know we got to interview people because everybody who gets nominated interviews people. Today we have for you Angela. Hello, Angela. Angela is a person, and she has experiences.
Thanks for being
today we're going to
us
talk
today.
about those experiences, and we're going to go in depth about things that have really, really formed and shaped her life into perhaps maybe the smile that she wears upon her face.
That's your NPR voice?
That's my NPR podcast voice. Really glad to have you here today.
You didn't think any of that stuff I was sharing with you was interesting?
Yeah, it was amazing. What are you talking about? We went on and on about it.
You just immediately changed topics.
No, I always have fun. Come on now.
Sometimes I feel like
Got to go with the flow. I had to look. I checked, and we've had some people here tonight more than usual.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
because you're talking about.
They're not sticking around though.
Because
They're like,
not always talking about.
This fucking guy is old, and his whatever this woman is, she's old.
Slow Car saying, I agreed an audiobook would be dope.
I got to do it. I got to figure it out. I'm broke as fuck.
I know, we have to crowdfund for it.
Yeah, I got to crowdfund for it. I'm broke as fuck. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Or I could set up like a GoFundMe. Guys, nobody's reading because people don't read anymore.
Yeah, because they're hiding from...
They do read, though. Books are selling crazy.
They're hiding from secret police, but, maybe while you're on the run, you might listen to an audiobook about celebrities.
83 omnivores and vegans who had maintained their diet for at least 6 months were placed into a resistance training or control group for 16 weeks.
You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like they put them in a survival dome where they had to compete for resources for 16 weeks.
Just deprive them of food to see if they'll eat each other.
They trapped a bunch of
no vegetables. You got to eat each other. You got to eat each other. Or you're going to die.
Like a dystopian plot.
Yeah, dystopian plot. You're all vegans, but you got to eat each other or you're going to die. Let me continue. 83 omnivores and vegans who had maintained their diet for at least 6 months were placed into a resistance training or control group or control groups for 16 weeks. Training significantly improved muscle strength regardless of diet type, suggesting that a vegan diet did not compromise adaptations to strength training.
There you have it. Voila.
It's a big fucking deal.
They say that the only nutrients that you miss by eating meat you can get by combining beans and rice. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say.
Nom nom. It slices just like a fucking prime rib too.
Yeah. Do you miss steak?
No, I never did. The first time I was a vegetarian for 14 years, we told the story about Nozawa last night. Right. And then I went back. I was jumping on the backs of fucking cows and chewing on their necks. I became a carnivore, extraordinaire. And I ate all that stuff. And we've given it up now. I don't know how long it's been, a couple of years probably. Yeah. But we gave it up a couple of years ago again. And as soon as I'm one of those guys, man, I'm a fixed sign, bro.
Yeah, so when you decide something, you do it.
We don't eat meat? Oh, we don't eat meat. And that's it. And I'm over it, and I enjoy the flavors I get out of the food we eat now.
It is kind of funny though, because you had just perfected how to cook a perfect steak at home.
I really did. We went to help Angela's mother in Los Angeles who needed some like, support things like bars and shit that you could hold your ass up.
Yeah, like her garage door has a big step down,
Yeah.
so we put up some like grab bars and stuff.
It was a concerning moment. She had a bad fall, and so we went to her house and we like all the areas that she needed some assistance to make sure she didn't fall again.
It was really sweet to go do.
So it was fun to do. It was a really good time.
And you cooked for her.
And I think I cooked my best steak ever in my life that night. Actually, I just went on a cooking spree. The whole time we were there, I was cooking for her. And I really was killing it. Like there was, whether it was on the skillet, whatever it was doing, man, I was fucking, and I cooked these porterhouse. Whoa, dude. Her
eyes rolled. It was awesome.
Her eyes literally rolled.
It was so great.
And it was so fucking genuine. And honestly, it was definitely like restaurant quality, like chef quality meat. And it was all done in a pan with a little oven warming to
Will you tell me about the story? Because I kind of derailed it by saying that it sounded like one of those like survival dome dystopian stories.
Well, just that, vegans can put on as much muscle as non-vegans, as carnivores.
So what was the test, though? I'm curious.
The test was that they took 83 omnivores and vegans who had maintained their diet for at least 6 months, and they were placed into resistance training or control groups for 16 weeks. And training significantly improved muscle strength regardless of the diet type, suggesting that vegan diets did not compromise adaptations to strength training. It's obviously a critical thing because one of the things I heard about always as a vegetarian back then, and I'm not.
Is that you could be a vegetarian if you don't work out?
They were like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to put on your muscles with, huh? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? You're just going to fade away? Your muscles, you're eating your muscles. You're eating your own muscles.
That's what they say. Archival Raccoon says you can definitely get all the necessary amino acids from plants.
Yeah.
That's how the cows get it.
And they ain't small. Buffalo and shit.
Slowcar said that the plus side of audiobooks, we're back on this.
Yeah.
Is you can add in all the deleted scenes because you don't have to worry about physical size. So if it serves the story, you can add it in.
I got some dope
It'll
ass
be like
shit.
19 hours.
It's already 17.
You want people to get to the end because that's where they find out who Leo really fucking is.
I tried to record it on my own, but there's too many voices.
In your head?
Apparently, because I put them on paper. But yeah, it's just like I have that scene where everyone's in the office and like Joe Michael starts, and then fucking Ethan comes over and then Connolly comes over. And it's just like the dialogue is ripping on a carousel, and it's really difficult to try and read that. So that's why I haven't got a goddamn audiobook. I pre-sold one and I had to refund all the pre-sales. There wasn't a lot of pre-sales, so it wasn't a big deal. But researchers found that young adults who access newly directed Researchers found that young adults who access news directly from media outlets are significantly more politically and civically active than peers who rely on social media feeds. That's a big deal. And, that's why you're going to have guys like Ellison, all these others like buying up those media companies, because when you can deliver it through these sort of stamp of approval almost.
There is a real problem with when you're arguing with people like online in any of these social media spaces that it kind of like depletes the energy that you could otherwise use in actual active protest and community engagement. Like people are like, oh, I made my point and I showed my solidarity in like like 140 characters on fucking Twitter. I feel satisfied about my engagement for the day, Yeah. It's a problem. I think it's got to be really frustrated for people who are trying to organize others. Everybody just wants to stay in their house and mind their own business.
No, you're right.
I don't blame them.
This is my last topic for today. I do have others, but we're going to end today with this one, and then we'll do a little. We'll close off with the chat. Okay. A new study in more than 15,000 men investigated 8 markers of toxic masculinity and found that only 10.8% of men included in the study showed clear signs of toxic masculinity.
How many? What's the percentage?
This finding, 10.8%. Nearly 90%.
Yeah.
Of 15,000 men investigated using 8 markers of toxic masculinity were found not to be toxic.
It sucks for the rest of them because so if you're like, okay, here's a viper pit that you got to jump into. Only 10% of these snakes are deadly venomous. You know? So for anybody who's trying to
Well,
like,
we already
get
know
the dating pool, you know?
what the significance is just by looking at the American political situation, how significant strong minorities can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, you know, whatever. Say there's 150 men.
With the minority in this.
If there's 150 million,
being a toxic masculinity.
if there's 150 million men in America,
yeah.
if there's 100 eligible men for this measurement
This makes
in
a lot
America,
of sense to me because I have never, I've dated a lot throughout my life and I've been very fortunate. I've never run into anybody who was ever trying to manipulate me or be mean or, you know, harsh or anything. It was all just fucking cool, you know?
Toxic masculinity is a buzzword I'll use, but the new study entitled "Are Men Toxic? A Person-Centered Investigation into the Prevalence of Different Types of Masculinity in a Large Sample of New Zealand Men," published in Psychology of Men.
Was that whole study on New Zealand men?
Yeah.
Oh,
that makes
well, there's a
difference.
lot of cultural implications about that.
For sure.
I would like to see the one about the United States because I feel like that
You're not
rate
kidding.
is going to be a lot higher.
It's
People are
certainly going to be regionally affected,
American
politically affected.
American childhood is like a fucking war zone for these kids, so I'm sure larger percent of these boys grow up fucked up.
But the truth is, I don't really know much about New Zealanders. No Two Trolls is like and Deanna, they're my New Zealand. They're the most exposure I've ever had to New Zealand thus far. Well, that's not true. So in 1993, these New Zealanders, I was working for Tony Robbins, right? And they came to one of the seminars, these New Zealanders. And at the end of it, they were like, yo, let's go do an illegal bungee jump. And I was like, what do you mean by illegal? So I agreed. We went in a white van.
You went and put your body.
Listen to this. We went into a white van. These fuckers, bro. These
their
New
good
Zealanders, bro. We snuck on a farmer's land where there was an old trestle that stood about 250 feet above a dried up creek, rocky creek. These fucking New Zealanders, man, they were amazing. They scaled down the fucking trestle by rope that they fucking tied up while we were standing there. And this fucking dude went and he put bumpers along the fucking
He just
trestle, climbing down. I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, you guys are fucking crazy. He's hanging off this trestle. He's putting these bumpers so that when the bungee jumps, it hits these bumpers and not the structure. Perhaps he's tearing the structure the rope.
Tearing the rope, yeah. God.
Oh my God. So dude, we got, and I had to like recruit a bunch of people to afford all the gear that they needed. That was their pitch. It was like, hey, we'll do this for you. You guys are like adventurous. Can you put a bunch of people together? I fucking sure did. I was able to put 10 people together, overnight. Like overnight, I had 10 people signing up with their $150 and we all paid $150 to these New Zealanders. And they did this. They set up these bumpers and then I stood on a fucking bridge, bro, attached to a fucking cord by a bunch of strangers that I only just met at a seminar and I jumped.
How'd it go?
I'm here. I'm right here. It was amazing. It was the most amazing thing ever. We had this guy named Kirby. He was as big as a fucking truck, this guy. And everyone was like, whoa, he might be too heavy. And the New Zealander, because they didn't give me any parameters. They were like, yeah, just bring some people. So I fucking got this guy, Kirby. He's like, I'm in. Kirby's like fucking 320, 350.
Like,
so we bring Kirby. And then when they pick up Kirby, because the van went around, picked everybody up, we all drove down together. We get to Kirby's house and they were like, whoa, okay. We weren't expecting a truck. So,
poor Kirby.
Motherfucker, we had to all, so Kirby jumps, everything's fine. Like they were like cautious at first and then they in their own mind and through whatever science they rely on, they decided Kirby could make the weight. Kirby was fine with that. I was like, dude, you know what happens if it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, you gotta have a death wish.
We're scraping you. So Kirby jumps, everything's cool. But we didn't have any kind of winch. So we had to individually pull every single jumper up as a group. We all just sat there and pulled.
All of you guys
had to pull Kirby up.
Heave, ho.
So we got Kirby about halfway up and we dropped him.
He's like, wee.
He had to go for a second ride. He was fine with it, but it was totally accidental. But one person dropped him, and of course, nobody wants to go. So we lost our anchor. And then the New Zealander runs, let it go, let it go, let it go. We just all had to let go because somebody might get dragged off the fucking bridge.
Without attached.
Yeah, dude. And so we all let it go, and Kirby went for another fall, and then we pulled his ass back up.
That's nuts.
So
I can't believe you did.
That's pretty masculine.
I never, ever would.
It was an amazing time. I am not going to lie. It was one of my favorite times. I have a picture of it somewhere. There's an actual picture of me just in my fucking swan dive. I was like totally prepared to die that day for the joy and the thrill of this illegal jump. The fucking farmer ended up finding us. He was like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? We had already finished the jumps.
Dude,
he was not happy.
If you had fallen to your
bad news for him.
demise, they would have just fucking would have split so fast.
They would just went like fucking sent the dogs, guys, treats.
Yeah.
Anyway, what an amazing study, and only about 11% men show toxic masculinity there in New Zealand. If those numbers even remotely held up, if it was only 20% in America, I'd still be pretty impressed with the fact that the majority of men, and I agree, like this is an important distinction that I think that we have to have going forward, because we have so much evidence of toxic masculinity all around us. We see things like, whether it's this Justin Baldoni case or it's, whatever else that we see all around us.
The problem
could
is
be
that
Danny Masterson, could be whatever.
The problem is that it's an extreme minority, but they're so damaging.
Yeah.
Those people can really fuck people's lives and psychology up. So it's like you have to be cautious of them as if they're not just a minority,
But where I'm going with this is that, and I'm guilty of this, but like there's this perception that men are fucking bad. That men are bad, and they're not.
You're guilty of this because you have been victimized by men
100%
throughout your whole life.
Never been victimized by a woman in my life. Men have tormented me, tortured me. They've destroyed me. I don't know how I'm here sitting today. I really don't, because it was from birth, like from fucking birth until this very fucking minute. I have been getting fucked over by dudes. They stole my money. They stole my fucking, my dignity.
I also wonder if the testing is accurate, because it seems like if you're a super toxic person that you're not necessarily going to answer honestly. When you're being asked questions about your toxicness. Yeah. Are you really going to be truthful if you are toxic?
I mean, you just have to remember though that look, first of all, well, I think they use different markers. I trust science. It's in Psychology Today. Like this is a legit study. And all I can say about it is, like, if the numbers are off, if they're skewed and it's more than 10%, if it's by far or by and large not the majority of men, then I think that it's important I'm going to start thinking differently about men personally. Like, I'm not going to just consider every man goddamn toxic. I'm not. I got my fucking faults.
No, but you're not. Toxic.
I'm not a toxic dude.
You're not what people talk about when they talk about toxic.
No fucking way am I.
Those people are really fucking difficult to deal with.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, and we just know, but we know that they exist mostly in a minority. If this has any truth to it.
No Two Trolls said that your story is most likely a true story because New Zealanders are very daring.
Oh, it's not. It's entirely a true story. It's entirely a true story. Trust me. It was a white rented van and a very long bungee cord.
Slow Car said that back we were talking about.
I was almost going to do a New Zealand accent, but I don't know how to do that. And then it would have been an Australian accent, but you know what that would have actually been? A really butchered English accent. Oh, yeah. And I would just embarrass myself.
And then ultimately it all just turns into an Irish accent.
I'm saying, just don't do it.
Slow Car was talking about the omnivore versus vegan diet.
Yeah.
Slow Car said it's largely how you eat within an omnivore or vegan diet rather than which of those diets is better, because the standard hyper-processed Western diet is technically omnivore, but it's terrible for you.
Yeah, correct. Of course, yeah. No, it's a very good point. If you're not eating whole foods, you're already, losing the battle. It doesn't matter if you think you're eating healthy or not. If you're, filling your guts with gut-destroying preservatives and, it's obviously not going to be great.
I think
that's it, right?
I would like to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had such a good time with you tonight. Cosmic Urgency, thanks for hanging in there through all the fucking Lively and Baldoni stuff, because it's great to have you, man. You're a great presence. You drive us all a little bit crazy, and I think it's just enough to make the time we spend together a little more fun. So thank you in particular, but thank all of you. And for those of you who are new to this experience, stick around, have some fun, subscribe, do all that kind of shit. We come around every day at 6 to 8 and we just talk shit, and we have a pretty good time doing it. And every now and then I get really fucking emotional because I'm a Scorpion, and water signs are emotional, generally speaking, and I am definitely that, even on my best days. Truly do love spending our nights with you. I hope you'll come back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Angela's butt is sore. We have to respect that, don't we? Let's get that thing healed up. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
All right, good night.